I'm going to take you through Millicent's Questline. Note there are summons, and I don't really usually summon for many battles, like this. You can summon her for like one of the gargoyle enemies and this kind of thing. But we're just going to go through her questline and how to make sure we get all of her best rewards. So first up, you're going to want to come to an area just south of the Celia Town of Sorcery, which is Gowry's shack here. And this is going to begin her questline, because he's going to send us to get a needle, which will allow us to get her up and about. So first up, we're going to speak to this guy, and then we actually need to go over here. Now I find the quickest way to get down there is by using the Celia Understair, and then we're going to head south. So I'll meet you guys when we're ready to face Niall. Okay then, so we're going to pick up just at the inner Aeonia Grace here that you can see. This is where I recommend coming before you go ahead and face him. And from here, it should be pretty much straight south. Now there is a lot of rot around, obviously as you guys can see. There are also clean rot knights that we need to worry about. Here is our Commander O'Neill. I thought it was Niall, I don't know why it's Neil. So his biggest trick is he's going to summon help. So you're going to want to put your summon down in my opinion, and then come on over here and deal with his friends before doing any damage to him. When he gets down to like half health, he'll actually start summoning other stuff in as well. So we just really want to get rid of these as quickly as we can. If you are someone that has Bewitching Branches, I don't actually even know where we get more from. I know you can start with them. You can actually use them on his friends there to get yourself some, well, effectively extra allies for a small amount of time. But we shouldn't have too much problem with this guy. He's very vulnerable to like doing range damage. So if you are a mage or you've got a bow, I mean, we could do it now. We could mount up, go on the bow, throw some poison at him, you know, all that kind of stuff. Just here we're getting ready to do his second set of summoning in a second, so we need to be careful of that. Boom. So anyway, Commander Niall goes down. He's going to give us the needle we need. Unalloyed gold needle. After defeating Commander Niall, we need to go back to Gowry.
Oh, you found the unalloyed gold needle. As promised, I've detailed the secret of Celia right here. Go on. It's yours.
Okay, so he's basically telling you how to get through the town of Celia. Now we should have already done it. I've got a couple of videos guiding people through this area anyway, but basically just light the towers on top of the town, and then unlock all the doors and give you access to where Millicent is. Now at this point you need to reset, so the quickest way to do that is to quit out of the game and reload. And upon reloading,
I have awaited your return. The needle is repaired. Now it will forestall the
anyway, let's go to you. I like talking to Millicent. He bores me. Millicent's cool. So now we want to go to the Church of Plague. So basically, if you haven't already been through, obviously solve the Celia Town puzzle by lighting the towers, and then you're going to come up through the road, try and avoid the boulders. They'll do significant damage if you're not careful, to the Church of Plague, where we can talk to Millicent. So here we are, Church of Plague. If this is your first time, there are guards at the front, but you don't have to fight them. You come around the side and just head straight in for the grace. There'll be a sacred tear here as well if you need it.
If you are wise, you will leave immediately. My flesh writhes with scarlet rot. You ask that I stab myself with the needle to quell the scarlet rot. But how? Never mind. I've decided I would rather trust you than simply continue to spoil from within. Would you mind averting your eyes for a moment? Well, that was easier than expected. But why do I feel so?
Okay. Make sure she has no dialogue left. And then we're going to rest, which will effectively reset the area. In theory, you could quit and reload as well. It should have the same effect, but it's quicker to rest at the grace.
I hoped to see you again. My apologies for when last we met. I fainted before I could even thank you. Everything is as you said. Since inserting the needle, the scarlet rot has ceased to writhe. Even the nightmares have abated. And now, though I can scarcely believe it myself, I can move as I please. Not that I could ever truly repay you, but I would like you to have this, by way of thanks. A token though it is.
There we go. Now we should rest and she should leave, I believe. We might have to exhaust the dialogue again. I could be slightly wrong. Yes, she's gone. And she's actually gone back to Gowry's shack, which is where we need to go and see her next. I prefer going there from the Celia back streets because we can stay along the eastern side and not aggro half of the town, which just means we take less damage as we go through. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll meet you guys at the Gowry's shack. Again, so as you can see, I've just ridden straight to Gowry's shack, and here is going to be Millicent.
Oh, hello again. Something about this place felt familiar to me, so I decided to pay a visit, hoping to find someone here, but I've only found emptiness. Perhaps before my departure, I needed someone to say farewell to. Well, never mind that. I must focus on my journey, for which I have you to thank. I must stay strong.
To make sure we've exhausted the dialogue. And then, much like we did here before, we're going to quit and reload the zone. And dun 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 dun, we got Gowry back. What was that weird blue bit? Oh, it's just my marker. I was like, why is there like blue energy? Yeah, I don't care about you. Cool thing here is, he will now sell us spells. In particular, Night Shard, Glistening Stars, Night Maiden's Mist, all pretty cool. We don't need him again, so we're just going to go ahead, exhaust his dialogue. With him sorted then, and Millicent now off on her questline, we should next see her, if I remember correctly, around the Erdtree Gazing Hill. So if you haven't been here before, I feel like I've said this loads of times now for Altus Plateau, but you can either get both sides of the Dexter's Medallion, one of which is in Fort Height, and the other one is at Fort Faroth. So you can go to those two places if you wish to get the Demigod Medallion, or you can fight your way through the tunnel and come out on the abandoned coffin. Either way, you're going to want to make your way to Erdtree Gazing Hill. Once here then, she's pretty much directly north. If you've got good eyes, you should be able to see this like pretty much straight ahead of me right now. You can just about spot her red hair from the grace.
Ah, we meet again. In truth, it's been smooth sailing for me. The scarlet rot has stilled since last we met. As such, I've been able to continue my journey. Though rather vexingly, I realized that if I still had my sword arm, I could have aided you in battle.
From here then, we are going to go to Shaded Castle. So from here, it's actually pretty easy, nice simple path. You're going to come down, head all the way north. You'll come to this big poison swamp. You're just going to come around to this eastern corner where there's kind of like ruined kind of rubble and stuff along the wall of there that allows you to get in to the Grace. So from this Grace, we're going to keep this bit pretty whole. We're going to want to drop down into a lot of swampy stuff here, as you can see. We're going to make our way up this tower, along this wall, into this corner here, which is where we're actually going to find a new arm for Millicent. So jump off the ladder, because I ain't about slowing down right now. You don't really need to fight these, but just to make my life a little easy, maybe I'll chop a few down. Seems to be keeping me out of being in combat, which is handy. So just going to avoid as much of the poison as we can. Avoid as much of the poison as we can. I'll stick to the right hand side, we get rid of you. We can head up this ladder. It's clearly going to still count me as being in combat. Of course, you could explore the whole castle. There's nothing. Well, there are a few useful things here, but there's really nothing groundbreaking loot-wise. There's some ghost glovewort over in that corner that you can get from a what do you call it? Human centipede thing. There's a piece of art here that can get you an item. I think that might be a stone sword key up there. So there's a few decent pieces of loot, but nothing groundbreaking in my opinion that you need to like be worried about. I'm just going to chop my way down this wall. If you're feeling, I don't know, like particularly low on flasks, there is a grace just across there, so you can see you can kind of jump to and from it if you wish to get around the pool in the middle, but if you're following this, you really shouldn't need to do that. Excuse me, sir. So, you know, like at this point, you could go ahead and pop some some physic. Just be ready for this lady. I think it's a lady. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's gonna rot me now though. It's gonna be bad. That could be the end of my world. Excuse me. Can't believe you're not dead. Thought I hit you with the weapon out then. That's what we get for trying to rush it. In any case, this is going to be the prosthesis, which we can now deliver to Millicent. So we're just going to fast travel back to the Erdtree Gazing Hill, should I say, so that we can deliver the prosthesis to her. There's going to be a lot of her questline done actually, which is quite good. So from this bit, we'll have one last place to travel to quickly.
Tracing the path Melania took after unleashing the power of the Scarlet Rot during her battle with General Radahn in the Caelid Wilds. I should like to meet her. This vanished woman. I think she's in the north, in the lands that lie beyond the Erdtree. Are you giving me this arm? Thank you. I am in your debt yet again, I think. If the arm serves well enough, it might be possible for me to wield a sword again. If the arm... It might be...
Her next position, I don't know if she'll go straight there, if I go straight there, but we're going to try it anyway, is going to be up at this top end of Dominula Village. If you haven't been here before, obviously from Erdtree Gazing Hill, if you've made your way there, and then done Shaded Castle, instead of going north, you'll come south, follow the road around basically. Look, there'll be catapults out this bit, make sure you clear those before coming out this wall. There's a golden seed if you want it around here as well. I don't know how much you guys want to know about kind of the parts surrounding the quest. I kind of want to try and keep it mostly contained on the quest if we can. So yeah, we're going to move right past here. Try not to annoy too many of the dancing old biddies. It's one of my more favourite places. I don't know why, it's just interesting. Up here you'll actually usually have a Godskin Apostle to face. She should have a summon sign somewhere according to the wiki, but I never used her for it. I've always ended up clearing it before I've done her questline. So go ahead, light the Lost Grace up here, and then we can talk to her.
Ah, we meet yet again. The arm you gave me truly is a thing of wonder. It feels just like my own. Even handling a sword. Perhaps it is foolish to say this to you of all people, but I am sure of my skill with the sword. Thus, I would have you call upon me in battle, should you ever have the need. I would have you call upon me in battle. It is the only...
And before the capital, that's the last we'll see of her for a little while. Obviously this character isn't past the capital yet. So we'll be catching up because once you get into the Forbidden Lands area, she's like just across like a bridge in the snow area, and then we'll see her in the Haligtree. So we'll detail those shortly. So here we are at the next point where we can see Millicent. You can see we're quite far north, and if you saw in the previous frames, you'll see that there was the Volcano Manor assassination we did, and it's kind of on the way to that. So Grace isn't too easy to miss, so it should be pretty obvious. In any case, we're going to go ahead and talk to her.
To think we'd meet in such a place. What could your purpose possibly... No. I know well enough who you are. And what I know is good enough for me. Call upon me again, in battle, should you have the need. I'm searching for a fort to the north of the ruins. I heard the master of the fort was given a medallion that allowed him to visit the Haligtree. Indeed, I believe that is where Melania will be found. The Haligtree is hidden somewhere in these northern lands. I'm searching for a fort to the... I heard the...
Okay, so with that done then, obviously, like she says, she'll basically be summonable up here in the fort. But next up then, we will be in the Haligtree that she was talking about. There's a secret way to get down the lift here, and what you'll need to do is complete the Castle Sol, and this here will be the boss room, but then you'll go through the boss room and up into the back here, and then that's where you're going to get the second part of the Haligtree medallion. If I haven't already said, to get the first part, you'll need to go and speak to Albus, I believe his name is. He is hidden in the back end of the village of the Albanoryx. He's in like a glowing looking pot in like a hidden corner. It's probably like, you can see him though, he's there on the map. So once you have both of those, you'll be able to use the lift and get on through, and that'll give you access to the Haligtree and a lot of other places as well, but I am not guiding you guys through all of that in this video. Instead, we'll skip to where we see her in, I believe it's called Elfale. Okay then, so you've progressed all the way through the Snowfield area. You've managed to solve the liturgical town puzzle, and then you've gotten through what is the hell of crossing all of the branches into the Haligtree, and eventually you'll come to the prayer room. This is where you should now see Millicent, provided you haven't killed her, and that you've gotten all of the dialogue. We're going to speak to her again.
Again we meet. I can only surmise our purposes are aligned. In which case, allow me to explain myself. I am of Millennia's blood, but in what capacity I know not. I could be sister, daughter, or an offshoot. Whatever the case, though, I am certain of a kinship between us. There is something I must return to Millennia. The will that was once her own. The dignity. The sense of self that allowed her to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot. The pride she abandoned. To meet Radahn's measure. There is something I must return.
Okay, so now, I don't think she actually moves. This should trigger us being able to either help or hinder her in the next encounter. So, what you need to do now is progress further through the zone to the drainage channel. This is going to involve going all the way through here, and then from the Elfale inner wall, you'll kind of cross kind of the middle here, and you'll come out this end. Once you get to the drainage channel, you'll be able to come out this way, head back up the ladder that you'll have come down to get this grace, and then we'll just skip to the top of this ladder. And then once we're at the top, you kind of head on up the hill here, and then we can cross a branch where we should see her summon signs. Now, I've left the ulcerated tree spirit that is normally over there at the moment, because I don't know whether or not we need to beat it to cause the summons. So we're going to find that out right now. So just come over this way, and it doesn't look like they're there. It should be pretty obvious. Okay, so I'm going to try defeating the ulcerated spirit just because I want to make sure what the exact trigger is. So give me a second. Okay then, so with the ulcerated tree spirit below, you can already see the golden glow in the corner there where the 2 summon signs are available. First up, for those of you that are fighting this and you want a little bit of a tip, that raised area there, just on the left, is definitely the best area to try fighting it in. 2 reasons. First one is it's harder to get knocked off over there. There's no ledge that can knock you off as long as you're up there. It can knock you into the rot, but at least that's better than insta-death off of these other ledges. In addition to that, it will also quite often fall off onto the side there. As long as you bring some kind of thrown weapon, maybe some firebombs, anything like this, you throw them at it and do extra damage when it can't really hit you very well. In any case, continuing on with Millicent's questline then, we have the gold path and the red path. And depending on the rewards that you want and the situation that you are in, will dictate which side you want to go on. This side is only good for fast attacking dex builds. You will get Millicent's Prosthesis, which gives you +5 dexterity and allows you to do more damage the more successive hits you do. This stacks with the insignia that does the same thing, and obviously the heirloom that also gives you +5 dex. So you can really kind of double down on fast attacking weapons if you go with this one. Everybody else probably wants to go for this one, as this will give you Millennia's Needle, which we can exchange for Michaela's Needle later on, which A, allows you to reverse the Frenzied Flame ending if you have already got that on you and you still want access to all 3 ending trophies, and will also give you an Ancient Dragonstone. So take your pick out of the 2. Obviously with the character I can only really pick 1, and I'm going to go with helping Millicent, should I say, being as that's what we've been doing all playthrough. Okay, so once we're inside, we're going to want to run over to Millicent as quickly as we can. We don't want anybody targeting her down too much. The damage of these guys can be a little bit outrageous, so just be careful of that. Popping something like Uplifting Aromatic is going to be handy as well. Obviously Millicent's no slouch though, so that's all good. Quick, no! Millicent's like 1 combo away from finishing this herself. There we go. Cool, so with Millicent's sisters defeated then, we should get returned back to our own world, where we'll get the Rotten Winged Insignia. I don't actually know if we'll get that if you don't help her. Now she should be sat... Where are we? Yes, over this way. Now, she is on 1 HP. Anything that so much as affects her in any way will instantly kill her, and then you'll lose some of the rewards. So don't jump, don't roll near her, don't do anything. Come over and press your talk button calmly.
Hello. Thank you for lending your hand. Without your help, I could not have defeated that quartet. I feel as if I've been in your debt from beginning to end. Thank you. With your help, I was able to live as my own person, if only in passing. But this is where things end. I paused to even tell you, but I took out the needle myself. Tell whoever put you up to this that if I am to flower into something other than myself, I would rather rot into nothingness as I am. Please, let me pass alone. The scarlet rot writhes now, worse than ever. Soon, I won't be more than a mound of flesh, curse-laden, untouchable. I wouldn't want such a thing to bring you harm. Please, the scarlet...
So at this point then, you want to reload the area. The quickest way to do this is to quit out and reload. And then when you return, we'll have poor dead Millicent, along with the unalloyed gold needle. Now all we need to do is take that to Millennia's boss room, and we'll get ourselves an ancient dragonstone, which I guess I'll show in a second. Okay then, so what will probably be 30 minutes later, you'll eventually make your way to the Haligtree roots, to the Haligtree. And then once you've defeated Millennia, who is just ahead of us right now, we should just be able to interact with this. Return the needle. Gain ancient dragonstone. The Michaela's needle. This will allow you to reverse Frenzied Flame ending. However, you have to use it in a specific place, which I don't think I have. Oh, I do have it on the map, yes. Although I don't think it's on that part of the map. Basically, you have to get to the dragon Placid Dusax to use it. I'm probably not going to cover that in this video. Instead, I'll do a how to reverse the Frenzied Flame ending video instead. But once you've done this, the very last thing you are likely to want to do is to go back to where all of this started with Gowry. Gowry, that's where we're going to go right now. And once you're here, you're going to want to kill him. We will actually stay dead this time. We should get his bell bearing and the Flock's Canvas Talisman. This will allow us to retain access to his spells, and the Flock's Canvas Talisman is similar to the Graven Mass Talisman, gives you 8% extra damage to incantations, so quite useful to all of you faith users out there. That's pretty much everything. That's all the rewards we can get from Millicent's Questline. I hope that helps you all out. I know it's rather long. There's lots of kind of different parts. It's probably spans the most areas of the game, so I hope it's not too confusing, and I'll see you all in the next video.